Good morning, everybody. I am Reverend Rob Ben-Nashok, and I am the pastor here at the Institute for Spiritual Development in Washington, D.C. And I am delighted that you have joined us for this service today. In this space, a space that wasn't created by technology, because this ether space, this Ethernet, has always existed, has been made accessible by technology. It's as real as any space that we can drive to or sit in. And so here we are, together. We rolled out of bed, turned on a magical machine or device near us, clicked a couple of buttons, and abracadabra, our beloved community is here. Wherever here is for each of us and all of us, here is where we have convened. And together in this space, we are the Institute for Spiritual Development. The Institute for Spiritual Development is a God-centered, spiritually inclusive, metaphysical church and community dedicated to our growing spiritual awareness in an atmosphere of unconditional love, acceptance, and service. I say to everyone here today, welcome home. And so let us pray. O holy presence, welcome to you, the all that is, the source of everything, the divine mind that has thought the multiverse into being. O holy presence, welcome to you, beautiful beings, seekers, healers, kindred, sacred creations of the divine mind, and perfect expressions of all that is. O holy presence, welcome to you, the divine essence that lives through me, with me, and in me, in unity with you, holy presence. The glory of life and the honor of living as divinity unleashed is what we celebrate this morning and forever. And so it is. And now we're going to recite together the principles of understanding which unite us that will appear on your screen when I share it. And I invite you to really listen as you say the words, because these are the core of what makes ISD the community that it is. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that infinite intelligence expresses itself in all existence and in humanity as a manifestation of divine love. We affirm the unity of all life everywhere. We believe in communion with all planes of existence and that meaningful communication flows from this connection. We affirm the divine right of each individual to seek the truth in accordance with their consciousness, and that living in harmony with that truth defines true spirituality. We affirm that spiritual unfoldment is progressive and unending, and that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any soul. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the mandate, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We affirm the personal responsibility of the individual and that we choose our happiness or unhappiness as we apply the laws of the universe. We affirm that life is eternal and that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We believe the ultimate expression of God in our life is unconditional love of our neighbors and ourselves. We accept that the living gifts of prophecy and healing reported in all sacred scripture are an affirmation of divine spirit working through us. And now we're going to enter what we call the wholeness and well-being part of our service. And so let us begin by taking a moment to reflect on where we would like to direct our wholeness and well-being intentions this morning. The people in our lives, the situations that we may face, or the circumstances in the world. And then let us confidently speak these names and circumstances or situations either silently or out loud right now as a declaration of our wellness intentions. And let us pray. O divine healer, your light is within me. Your presence is in all of us, and our power is limitless. May our loving thoughts and healing actions reveal to those we have named today the well-being that is inherent and ever-present in all things divine. As we reveal perfect wholeness to others, so perfect wholeness is revealed to us. And so it is. And so let us prepare for a few moments of meditation. And so I want you to just get comfortable wherever you are. Your feet flat on the floor, your hands resting comfortably in your lap and your palms open, ready to receive being. And today we're going to just listen to the sound of ISD's beautiful crystal bowls and allow ourselves to align with that wholeness, that well-being, and that healing. And as we align, we can send that healing energy out to all those whose names we've spoken, all those who come to mind that need our special, beautiful healing energy. And so we'll start by taking some breaths together, and just naturally and on your own, I want us to breathe deeply. So you take a nice deep breath in and hold, and then exhale slowly. Another breath, inhale and hold and exhale. And another breath, Inhale, hold, and exhale slowly. And with each sound of the tone that we hear, we become more and more relaxed wherever we are. We feel our body just begin to become lighter and freer. We feel any pain or discomfort we might have come here with today just dissolve into that beautiful ether space. We feel a sense of freedom. We feel a sense of serenity. And in this space, we realize that the wholeness we feel is the wholeness that we experience as our spiritual selves, as our essence. We realize that any feeling that has kept us from feeling whole, any experience, any memory, any worry, is simply because we've allowed the limitations of our physical presence to confuse us. But here in this space together, where all things that do not feel whole to us have just dissolved away, we relax. Today, the tones align us with our divine self deep within. Free us. Allow our spirits to soar. the tone way we allow ourselves just a few moments of silence wherever we are, connected with tones. And out of the silence comes the final tone for the day. So wherever which is still and restored. Becoming aware of our breathing makes us aware from our toes up through our legs, our waist and our hips, and our torso and our chest, all the way out through our arms and fingers, up through our shoulders and our neck and our mouth and our cheeks and our eyes and our forehead and our crown. And as we've returned to our physical presence, we are very aware of how whole we feel and know that we can recall that feeling of perfect wholeness, that feeling of complete well-being, right from this meditation today. And so, empowered with this thought, we choose to return completely to our physical space, to the room that we left to take this journey. And we'll take our 3 deep breaths. Inhale and exhale quickly. Again, inhale and exhale. And one more deep breath. Inhale and exhale. And our eyes are open. And let us pray. O light of all life, in the stillness we remember the secrets of the universe. What we have remembered, let us now experience as unity with one another and alignment with our divine being. And so it is. Our reading this morning is a poem by one of my favorite writers, and I know is one of Reverend Jim's favorite writers, and that is Maddie Stepanek. And this poem is called Opportunity Knocking. Opportunity knocking, I open the door to each new day. I welcome the dawn and I swing open wide the entry portal to each next moment in life. Some days thrust tsunamis with storms and squalls. Some days shower sunshine with laughter and love. Some days illustrate the circle of life, highlighting the grass which is always greener on the other side of the hills, where blossoms grow and the land prospers fruitfully, and the dreams always come true. Or perhaps they don't really stand a chance. As birds announce life through sweet or sad songs of that part of the circle which cannot be seen from this side, I walk with content in the green of my youth, though shaded with challenges, each darkened or lightened by my choices in vision and views. But I know that if I only open my eyes and I open my mind and I open my life, I open the door to each new day. That was Opportunity Knocking by Matty Stepanek from his book, one of his several books, Reflections of a Peacemaker, a Portrait in Poetry. So I saw a meme on Facebook recently, and if you're not on Facebook a lot, a meme is a humorous image or video, piece of text, etc., that's copied and often slightly varied and then spread rapidly to people. So those crazy photos with text with them, and usually funny, mostly funny. But this meme said, I'm not turning, something like this, I'm not turning my clock back when daylight saving time ends on November 1st. I don't want even one more hour of 2020. There were a lot of likes on this meme. I mean, we're pretty divided and embittered about a lot of things this year. Presidential candidates, coronavirus seriousness, masks, the Black Lives Matter movement, climate change. But it looks like most people are in complete agreement on thinking that 2020 has been the worst year ever. They can't wait for it to be over. The year's end can't come soon enough, yada, yada, yada. So this little meme on Facebook about that extra hour in 2020 really got to me. It was kind of like the tipping point to the gazillions of 2020 sucks memes that I've been seeing for a while that had bothered me. And you know, I get that same disappointed feeling when people start issuing their blanket good riddance to a year in that last week of December. I mean, I've talked about this before. Really, an entire year of your life you say good riddance to? Did you not do something that you loved? Did you not meet someone new or deepen a relationship with someone? Did you not have a profound and meaningful experience you would have never had if the bad things from this year hadn't happened? Now, my disclaimer is, I know that this year has been a year of frightening and infuriating, seemingly endless challenges that have caused unfathomable upheaval to our way of life and devastating loss to us individually and collectively. I've not had to fear things like my aging parents who are already gone, nor have I had to face many agonizing choices that parents and teachers have had to make as they try to ensure the safety of their kids and their kids' education. My husband and I have avoided COVID infection thus far, and so I know that my personal challenges have been negligible during the last several months compared to so many who have suffered through illness and economic devastation, systemic racism, and climate change-related weather destruction. But I have experienced the agony of watching ones I love suffer. I've experienced loss and despair, And I have had times in my life when I was eager for a particularly difficult year, month, or even a day to be over. And of course, I understand the levity and how it can comfort us and make us feel connected during these times that can and have felt so dark. But I gotta say, I don't like when the levity comes at the expense of the energy that is sent out to the world. And I get kind of sad when I see people being so cavalier about throwing away the gift of 1 hour of life, or worse, wishing away days from the already dizzying passage of time. Especially when I can imagine that many of the 220,000 people who have died from the coronavirus for 1 more hour here on Earth with their families, or for the loved ones who would give anything now for 1 more hour with them. It's hard sometimes for me not to judge. I had a good friend who made some reference to some disparaging remark about this year, dumpster fire year, something like that. And this was a person who was able to retreat to a second home with their husband, and they were able to be away for a month while their brand new house in DC was being renovated, and they still have their health. And of course, I don't know what happened outside of those things that I saw on social media that might have reinforced that negative perspective, but those seem to be pretty wonderful things that have happened. And I'm of the feeling that if one wonderful thing happened, then the year doesn't suck. And if one of the main lessons that we were supposed to learn from COVID and these other seemingly relentless challenges this year, if one of those main lessons was the preciousness of life, of each moment, well then, these memes and we who find them funny really completely miss the point by wishing that this year would end, or by rejecting that extra hour when we'll get when we turn back the clocks next week. I know it's all in fun, but that's still an hour that I'll be grateful for. And for those who wonder aloud, how could things get any worse? Well, in my experience, the divine mind stands ready to answer that question just as it's asked, not out of spite or out of punishment, but because it is responding directly to our imagination. The divine mind is just helping us bring about our own creation. So guess what? It stands equally ready to answer the question, how could we make things better? Or what in this experience or situation is my opportunity to deepen my wisdom and expand my compassion and become better than I would have been without this experience? In my blog post last week, I mentioned the book, The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer, that our Tuesday evening book discussion circle has been reflecting on and having some great talks about in the last several weeks. The book is uncannily timely for these days because it reminds us that we've been making happiness demands on life since we came out of the womb. I'll be happy when I get this toy. I'll be happy when I grow up. I'll be happy when I finally leave this one-horse town. I'll be happy when I get that job, that promotion, that relationship, that iPhone 12. Who doesn't want one of those? But Michael Singer, the author, also exposes just how conditional and therefore precarious Our adult quest for happiness has become as well. I'll be happy until something bad happens. I'll be happy unless my husband or wife leaves me. I'll be happy unless my child dies. I'll be happy unless I get a terminal illness. I'll be happy unless I lose my job and betrayed, fail at my business. Conditional happiness. And Singer asks, and I talked about this in my blog, a powerful question that most of us would probably assume we answer honestly to ourselves. Do you want to be happy from this point forward for the rest of your life, regardless of what happens? So of course, most of us are going to answer, duh. Who wouldn't want that? But do we? Do we really want to be happy for the rest of our lives, no matter what happens? Think about it. Do you really want to be happy for the rest of your life? Oh yeah, no matter what happens. If you get COVID, if you survive COVID, if you face discrimination, if you are betrayed by someone you love, if you are disfigured by a freak accident, if you're in lockdown, if someone you love dies, if several people you love die, if your best friend gets cancer, do you want to be happy no matter what happens? The key is, do you want it? Because it's out there, and many people have faced unbelievable experiences in their life that have not been so pleasant or hurtful. Now, we've heard this before. We actually just read it a few moments ago. We affirm the personal responsibility of the individual and that we choose our happiness or unhappiness as we apply the laws of the universe. We choose our happiness or we choose our unhappiness. And I kind of think that we can reverse that. As we apply the laws of the universe, we choose our happiness because that's the choice that the law shows us. The writer Hermann Hesse said, happiness is a how, not a what. A talent, not an object. So happiness is a how. It's a talent. It's not a prize or reward you get for obtaining or fulfilling a desire. It's the solution for living your best in any experience and situation. And it's a talent that must be honed, like all talents, through conscious choice and consistent practice. Do you know people who are talented at happiness? Have you seen them? Have you met them? There was a story a couple of years ago about a young man, J.R. Martinez, who was thrust into the pop culture eye when he won Dancing with the Stars in 2011, I believe it was. Now, he was an Iraq war vet, and his Humvee went over an IED, and the rest of his crew was ejected from the vehicle, and he was trapped inside. He thought he was going to die. but he didn't. And he got out, a handsome man who always felt like his looks were one of his calling cards. 33, 34 surgeries and skin grafts. And so, yes, he despaired. But as he began to talk to other burn victims and help them understand and show them that they could live and make choices about how they viewed life, his life began to change. He got a job on All My Children, which was supposed to be a 3-day stint and turned out to be 3 years. He got invited to join the cast of Dancing with the Stars and won. And he's amazing. And I tried to find the interview today where he says that he's happier now than he had ever been because of this experience. Others, Helen Keller, she's got a gazillion quotes on happiness because she had something from inside of her that allowed her to understand and to feel that happiness. Stephen Hawking, when his body shut down and his mind kept growing, he didn't stop. He wasn't defeated. He didn't say good riddance to any part of his life that allowed him to grow. So I ask you and I ask myself this because it is not an easy answer. Do we want to be happy from this point forward for the rest of our lives, regardless of what happens? It's still 2020 for about 2.5 more months. And we know from experience, there's going to be much, much more that happens in that 2.5 months. Do we want to be happy from this point forward for the rest of our lives, including these 2.5 months, regardless of what happens? Are we ready? Do we want to let go of conditional happiness, which we now know is not real happiness anyway? Do we want to throw that if this happens, then I'll be happy list? Do we want happiness that is in its true form because we know that it's not a prize or a reward? Do we want to embrace happiness as a way of living that helps us live a rewarding life no matter what happens? Because if we don't, then what? Who will suffer if our happiness conditions aren't met? Whose quality of life will be diminished if we make happiness demands on our lives? We've got 2.5 months left in 2020. Let's not wish it away. Let's accept every hour of it. Let's make the most of every moment. Let's prove to ourselves and to each other that there's no such thing as a worst year ever. Because when we choose happiness, we can always create the best year yet. Thank you. And now it's time for the prosperity portion of our service. And I invite you to think about the abundance of gifts in your life and allow yourself to experience that deep appreciation for that abundance. so that we can always proclaim that divine love always has and divine love always will answer all of our needs. If you are a regular member or a congregant, you know by now you can make your weekly offering through our virtual collection plate, which I'm going to cut and paste into the chat section right now. And I'll also use this time to thank you all that continue to support and encourage and participate in our wonderful community that continues to surprise me, that continues to grow, that continues to deepen. And so let us give thanks. We thank you, O Divine Father, Mother, for the chance to start anew, for the opportunity to recreate, reinvent, and reimagine. With the wellspring of gratitude we experience at this gathering as we celebrate our rebirth as individuals and as a thriving spiritual community. We thank you now for what is in the present and what is to be. And so it is. And just a few announcements today. And I'm going to share my screen with the web page that has our latest events coming up. Before I do that, I better find it. So here we are. Again, I can't believe that we've now passed mid-October already. It's crazy. But we still have things coming up, and a lot of them are happening this week. Tuesday evening, Reverend Jim returns to the class virtual podium with the class, The History of the Modern Metaphysical Movement. This is a required course for ministerial students, and it's also got a lot of people already signed up already. So very excited that others are so excited. It's a lot of fun. It's not a class that's focused necessarily about principles as much as it is how this movement took hold here and led us to where we are today with our own spiritual community. So history of the modern metaphysical movement and how we got here. Wednesday, of course, we have our evening meditation, moments in the silence, very much like ones that we had today with the bowls. So please do join us. All you got to do is click the link, join in, relax. Most people actually get to lay down on Wednesday nights because it is Wednesday night and it's midweek. So please, please, please join us. Check the website for the link and click through. On Saturday, we've got our Saturday Spiritual Gifts sampler, of course. Sylvia Wright will be leading a Reiki healing class or session where she offers meditation and offers reflections on how we can heal ourselves and heal the world around us. So important, as we've done today with our healing energy. Saturday night, a couple slots have left, or a couple slots have been taken already, I should say. So we've got a few left for our Zoom message gallery. Very popular event. We've got 10 spaces available. I think we've got 8 or 7 now because several of you have signed up already. So sign up. It's a lot of fun. Everybody gets a reading from 4 readers, and we've got a great little timer that keeps us all on track. So it's a lot of fun. It's like playing beat the clock with messages, but it also encourages us to think fast, to use that intuition, and to share with you some of our gifts. So please join us for our Zoom message gallery on Saturday the 24th. And then on Saturday the 31st, we have, as part of our Saturday Spiritual Gifts Sampler, a program on automatic writing that's going to be led by our guest speaker, Monty Scribner. And you can find out all about her on the website link. but it should be a really fun and interesting way to get in touch with spirit again, using pen and paper and closing your eyes and letting spirit work through you. We've done this a couple times before. So delighted that it gets to be part of the repertoire that Reverend Fran has been offering, and that she has been working and with Monty and lined her up. So thank you, Reverend Fran, and thank you, Monty, for agreeing to be a part of this, and we will look forward to many more. And then we will have our service honoring the ancestors of ISD on Sunday, November 1st. Now, this is really an All Souls Day experience of a service, but since it's Sunday, we're going to do it on All Saints Day. But this was the brainchild of Reverend Martha Sines, and it's our way of honoring those ancestors that we're actually going to speak about in the next few minutes. The ancestors that make up this living entity that we know as the Institute for Spiritual Development here in Washington, D.C. So I'm here in the sanctuary. You're where you are, in your homes or wherever, outside. But this community is a living entity together. And those who helped to found it and build it and work for it and attend and that have passed into spirit make up that ancestry. And let me tell you, you can feel it in the sanctuary every time you walk through the door. So thanks to Reverend Martha, we're going to honor them now in a very specific way. Simple ceremony, but we just want to be able to speak their names and acknowledge them and allow them to work through us to continue to make this community the wonderful living entity that it is. So I thank you, Reverend Martha, for the idea. I'm so excited to do it on November 1st, and we will look forward to seeing you all there. And I think that's it for today. So I will, if anybody has anything else, speak now. Made it so you could unmute yourselves. Never mind. All right, let's return to our order of service. So today we are going to speak of those ancestors. I'm going to share my screen with you once again. And we are going to say together as our congregational prayer, our stewardship prayer. And so wherever you are, you can speak silently or loud, but this prayer honors this church, honors those who have built it, and invites us all to participate in its care and feeding and serving. So let us pray. Infinite Spirit, at this blessed gathering today, we celebrate the divinity of all that is. We honor the Institute for Spiritual Development as a living entity, brought to its extraordinary life by the presence of everyone here now, by the essence of the ancestors who have come before us, and by the imagination of all the souls who will come after us, carrying her into her future. We ask you to give us strength to heed her call of stewardship, so together we can make her who she was created to be, a beacon guiding all spiritual seekers to a deepening connection to the divine within. May we always encourage, inspire, and energize one another in sharing our gifts, our talents, our happiness talents, and our resources to ensure our spiritual community's life, longevity, and legacy. And so it is. And so now we've come to the portion of the service that we call Affirmation of Spirit, where if we were all in the sanctuary, I would be stepping down into the congregation to offer a few short messages to those who are here. But we're going to do them virtually today. So I'm going to bring the camera back to me so that I can see all of you. give you a better view of me, as long as you don't look at my too much at my close up. All right, so messages. And if you could just show, we're going to ask those who've shown their video, it makes it much easier to kind of connect with you. So if you want a message, please put yourselves in. I see Lorraine Long or Lorraine. Hello. Can you hear me? Lorraine. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? There we go. All right, I'm going to try to get back in, guys. I'll be right back. Yay. I see you. Are we unfrozen? All right, try one more. Are you there? Everybody's frozen. Ah. There's movement. All right. So Lorraine, I called on you first, so I'm going to go with you first, okay? Lorraine. Let's see if you can unmute yourself. I see you. Okay. So, Lorraine, thank you for being here today. Thank you for your patience. I am seeing, like this cartoon lioness, and it's not like the Lion King lioness. It's I get the sense that this lioness is strong and powerful and childlike. So this is one of your gifts, that you can take this strength and still remain open to the wonders of the world. So I see this wonderful combination of strength and since this is like a lioness, not quite a cub, but like an adolescent, there's growth there, and there's also wonder at the world. So I think that you are it feels like you're in the middle of something that is going to be offering you this sense of wonder for quite some time. So Spirit is saying, really put any amount of cynicism you may have away, and just allow yourself to open up to the wonder that this new experience is going to bring you. So, thank you. Lauren Rogers, can you hear me? Lauren Rogers. I can see you, Fran. You're moving. All right, so, oh, Jim's moving. Lauren? Well, I'm going to, Joyce, are you there? All right, Fran. Hi. I see you're nodding your head. So that's the message. That's a message in and of itself. So the nod of your head that I see, which drew me to you right now, is a big old yes. It's a big old confirming yes. So the invitation that is coming your way is one that you are to, without hesitation, to have a big resounding yes for. And I think when you do, there's confidence involved. You're going to find that the door to the next step of this invitation is going to be very, very clear. So yes, yes, indeed. That's the word of the day. And I was just reading a book called Yes to Life. So it's kind of like, say yes to the life that is through this doorway. Thank you. Hi, Wendy. How are you? Good seeing you. Wendy. I have been working with wire to make a costume, crown. And so the crown that I've been working on, I actually see on your head. So it's an elven crown, kind of from Lord of the Rings, and it has wire. It's braided, and it also has braided little tree branches that are coming out of it. And so it's both delicate and strong as well. And it is it's one that is a reflection of your spiritual royalty. And so you are being asked to kind of step into this royalty. You know, it's you don't need a coronation. All you have to do is like reach for the crown and put it on. And And so once you have this crown on, you are going to feel its power and feel the connection to the leadership that comes with wearing it. So check it out. Check out online with some of the elven and elvish crowns. They're really fun and they're very beautiful. They're very Celtic inspired. But and I'll show you mine. And I really see it on your head, so I'm going to have to find a way to bring it and show you because it's pretty cool. So remember that. All right, Lauren Rogers. Hello. You got a lot of patience, Lauren. So how are you? Good seeing you, Lauren. I was watching the Netflix documentary on Dolly Parton last week, and talk about someone who has a sense of happiness that seems to be a state of being. This woman has it, and I'm thinking of her song that became one of her signature songs, Coat of Many Colors, which is about her childhood and how her mother wove together her winter coat from all these fabrics. And the kids at school didn't understand it and made fun of her because that she was wearing this coat that looked like it was made from, scraps of material from others' clothing. But in her mind, this was a tapestry and a gift of her mother who wove these things together for her. So your life now is one of these coats of many colors. You're weaving together parts, and you're figuring out how they're going to work together and what the stitch is going to be to bind them, and also making sure that the fabrics align with each other, that they make sense together. You can have the softer fabrics on one side and the coarser, warmer fabrics on the other, but you want to make sure you've got a pathway to put these pieces together. So they're coming. They're coming. You may have to gather. I think you should start putting together the ones that you have and know that the other ones that you need are going to be on their way whenever you need them the most. Okay, so coat of many colors, life of many colors, tapestry of many colors. That's your message for the day. Hi, Reverend Martha. Can I give you a message? Thank you. Another movie I was watching the other day. So there's the Disney Channel. They've compiled many of the animations without dialogue, and the animators and the sound people put together this magnificently lush experience of hearing just like the natural sounds of the princess from Frozen hops on this horse, and she rides across the water because she can freeze the water as she's riding, and she's riding like the wind. And just like you saw my cycle last week over a giant map of the world, I also see this. The wind is in her hair, and she's resolved. The two movie arc is her finally coming to terms with her power. This is what's happening now. You're kind of riding across. You're changing the course of the landscape as you go along, and you're free. And as a result, things are opening up for you as well. So and maybe I'll meet you on the bicycle when we do that, and we'll have some fun. So thank you. Reverend Jim. Wow, it was going one direction, and then all of a sudden I heard that the childhood game, patty cake, bakers, man, bake me a cake as fast as you can. So I'm not sure if you're a baker, if you like to bake, and I know that you wish that you could have more baked goods, but so I think that what we're seeing here is the creation of something that is being assembled, and all the ingredients are lined up because you're organized in that way, and you're going to put them together and stir. But the baking me a cake as fast as you can, that's that's not working for you. You have the right to say, look, if you want this done, it's got to be done right, and I'm not going to just bake it as fast as I can. I'm going to prepare and give you the best creation that I possibly can. So I think the message for this and you at this time is, demands are going to be made, and you're going to fulfill them, and you organize them, but you have every right to say, no, 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 not as fast as I can. That's not going to be best for everyone. So thank you. Who is up there? Who is Omar? Are you there? Hello. How are you? So, welcome. Wow, I'm seeing like your physical presence having this like green sheen. I'm not an aura seer, so I'm kind of seeing this metaphorically around you. I'm seeing this aura that surrounds you. It's protecting you. It's like this beautiful veil that allows you to feel relatively safe in your life. But I think they're suggesting that you might want to take a chance at kind of piercing through this protection that you've created around yourself. You're very talented. You can cast that kind of spell around yourself. I'm tear a little hole in it. It'll repair itself, but you got to tear a little hole in and out and see what the world is without this coming on. So it's kind of like when you're using like plexiglass and you realize that you didn't peel off the sheet. And you've been, so this is like kind of like clarifying and peeling that protection off, because I think you're going to find you're going to take more and more of it off. So that beautiful green sheen is going to come off slowly once you realize that it can. So thank you. And I think that's it, guys. I get messages all day long. We've got a board meeting that I've got to get ready for. So thank you for being here. And I hope to give you all messages sometime very soon, maybe at the message gallery coming up. So let us close our service today with the closing prayer. O source of the living and the lived, from your sacred spark does our soul fire burn. We thank you, Creator, for this celebration has brightened the flame of our creation. Today, this week, and beyond, may we see the wonder in each encounter and the adventure in each experience, so that our lived life, no matter what, is always a life well lived. And so it is. And so I invite you all to open up and unmute and share with each other. Thank you for being here once again. Are you able to unmute? Are you guys able to unmute yourselves? Hi, Steve. No? None of you can unmute yourselves? Huh. All right, let me try this. Oh, there we go. Sorry, there we go.
All right, now we're back.
There
we are.
What I was checked was actually unchecked, so sorry about that.
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
That was a beautiful service, Rob.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Lovely, Rob.
Thank you.
Jan, you have rays coming down on you.
The sun.
Yes, it's gorgeous.
Good.
Ah.
Oh, nice.
Hi,
We
Kathy.
couldn't thank
Hi, Kathy. She's muted.
Hi, Virginia.
to unmute ourselves, so we could never thank you for our messages.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Robin Olson. Robin, I'm about to water the piano. So
Good, good.
we need some solution. So tell me where to get it. I'll get it.
I can drop some off, and it'll get tuned. You know, it's a Zen thing. Even if it's not being played, it'll still need to be tuned eventually. So I'll stop by and tune it. Yeah. So, the weather really shifts. So yeah.
Omar, are you, I've not met you. I'm Brenda.
My name is Takesha. My husband
I
is
thought
Omar.
so. That doesn't look like an Omar to me, but I thought I'd get your attention.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you.
Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you.
We had a reading a couple weeks ago, didn't we, at the Psychic Fair?
Say that one more time.
We had a reading at the Psychic Fair, didn't we, together?
Me? Oh, I haven't been to a psychic fair in a long time. I actually moved to New Jersey a few years ago, but I used to attend them.
So have you been with us before?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Many
okay.
years. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Gonna sign off. Stay well, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good week.
Everyone, bye-bye.
friend.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Kathy.
Thank
A
Jamie,
reminder to all of you to please send us
Yes.
all your remembrances of people who have passed, who have been ISD members or congregants, because we need to build up that list. So we, try to honor everybody that we can remember. And it's really important. Please send us all those names to Reverend Rob, Reverend DiBiasio, and myself. Rob posted the emails for us. Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you. Yeah, we'll have a live webpage that we can also maintain. For those of us that that have been here for a while that just keep kind of wanting to.
That's great.
Thank you just want names?
Names, and if you know the date that they passed.
Oh, okay.
But Lorraine, Martha and I were talking this week. Honor Nick, which we have, of course, we haven't been able to do because we're not here in person. So we can, what a great way to be able to do that and honor Diane Fleming, Kathy. So we're excited about this.
I'm gonna get a screenshot of Jan.
Yeah.
Hey, you're taking pictures of us?
Oh.
Funny.
I was, but it didn't work. I want to get Jan's glowing rays.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is so cool.
It's like look, she's got like a halo and she's got like gauze around her. It's like they put somebody put Vaseline on.
Can you assume a position, Jan? Something to inappropriate with your yes.
I got it.
There you go. That is,
Yeah.
that is really cool. Wow.
That's
All right, guys. Board
I'll send
meeting
it to you later, Jan.
Okay, thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Have a beautiful week.
Bye.
Thank you. everybody.
Namaste.
Bye,
Namaste.
Bye.
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 As we sign,
Kathy.
leave. I don't know how to get off.
Eventually,
Oh, that's okay. Bye, Kathy.